Welcome to the show we're in. News to share, where to begin. Free sound.
Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something that you might not expect. The power of silence.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be looking at excerpts from the audiobook, The Power of Silence. Make everything flow in your favor. And,
Okay.
I think this is going to be a really cool one.
Yeah,
I think this is going to change how we think about quiet time.
absolutely.
Have you ever felt like the world's just too loud? Like you can't even hear yourself think?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this deep dive is for you.
This one's for you.
We're going to be talking about everything from mental clarity and sleep
Right.
to creativity and even those aha moments that seem to just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
get this.
Okay.
The audiobook mentions research
Okay.
suggesting that just 2 hours
Wow.
of stillness every day can actually boost brain cell growth.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's the thing about silence. I think it
Yeah.
seems so basic,
Yeah.
but the impacts on our lives are profound.
Yeah.
And I think the audiobook really emphasizes that this isn't just about the absence of sound.
Right.
It's about finding that inner stillness.
Oh, that's okay.
It's like hitting the reset button on your brain.
That reset button idea really stuck with me, too.
Yeah.
Because it makes it seem so much more active,
Yeah.
It's something we're doing.
Right.
It's not just something that's happening around us.
Exactly.
There's actual science behind this, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The audiobook cites a study from 2013
Okay.
that found that spending 2 hours in silence daily
Wow.
actually led to the development of new brain cells in the hippocampus,
Wow.
which is the area linked to memory.
Okay.
So it's not just a feeling.
Interesting.
There are real physiological changes happening.
So we're not just talking about relaxation here.
Right,
We're
like-
talking about
Yeah.
potential cognitive enhancement.
Yeah.
I like that.
I know, right?
But, let's be real.
Yeah.
Most of us probably struggle to find 2 minutes of quiet time,
Right.
let alone 2 hours.
Exactly.
How does the audiobook even suggest that we bring silence into our lives?
Well, it acknowledges that challenge,
Okay.
especially in our always connected world,
Right.
but it also offers these practical strategies,
Okay.
starting small.
Yep.
Even 5 minutes can make a difference.
Okay.
Creating a quiet space at home, even just a corner,
Yeah.
can be a sanctuary.
That makes sense.
And it emphasizes mindfulness,
Right.
learning to tune into the present moment,
Okay.
even when there's noise around us.
So it's about cultivating that inner stillness.
Yes.
Not necessarily being in a soundproof room.
Exactly.
But what about those times when it feels like it's impossible to escape the noise?
Right.
Like when you're on a crowded commute or something.
The audiobook talks about incorporating silence into our routines.
Okay.
Maybe it's having a silent dinner once a week,
Yeah.
turning off the radio during your commute, or taking a quiet walk without your headphones.
I like that.
These small changes add up.
I love that idea of weaving silence into our day
Yeah.
instead of seeing it as something we have to schedule separately.
Uh-huh.
But the audiobook also goes beyond just the mental benefits, right?
Oh, yeah.
It talks about this healing power of silence, even calling it a balm for the soul.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
That's what really intrigued me as well.
Okay.
The audiobook argues that silence allows us to tune into our body's signals,
Okay.
to become aware of discomfort or tension we might be holding.
Right.
It's like giving ourselves the space to process what our bodies are telling us, something we often ignore when we're constantly distracted.
It makes sense when we're bombarded with information.
Right.
It's so easy to miss those subtle cues from our bodies.
Uh-huh.
So silence is like pressing pause so we
Yeah.
can actually listen as it's going on inside.
Exactly.
And that ties into mindfulness too, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Silence creates the ideal environment for mindfulness practice. It helps clear the mental clutter and allows us to focus on the present moment.
Right.
And remember, mindfulness isn't about achieving complete silence in our minds.
Right.
It's about observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment.
Yeah.
And silence gives us the space to do that.
So even if there's external noise,
Right.
we can still cultivate that inner quiet.
Exactly.
Now here's something I think a lot of us struggle with. Mental clarity. In today's world, with information coming from every direction,
Yeah.
it's so easy to feel overwhelmed.
Right.
How can silence help with that?
Well, imagine silence as a mental decluttering agent.
Okay.
It helps us sift through the noise
Yeah.
and identify what truly matters.
Okay.
The audiobook suggests that silence can help us access deeper levels of thinking,
Okay.
engage in introspection, and potentially even have those aha moments
Yeah.
that come from genuine contemplation.
But like silence creates the space for those insights to surface
Exactly.
instead of them being drowned out by constant distractions.
It's about giving our minds the freedom to wander, to
Yeah.
make connections, to see things from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where true clarity often emerges.
You know, one of the things that surprised me the most in the audiobook
Okay.
was the connection that it makes between silence and creativity.
Yeah.
How can being quiet help us come up with new ideas?
Right.
Isn't brainstorming with others more effective?
That's a common misconception.
Okay.
While collaboration can be valuable,
Yeah.
the audiobook really emphasizes this idea of solitary reflection in the creative process.
Okay.
It argues that silence lets our minds wander freely without the constraints of logic or external expectations.
Right.
That's where unexpected connections and those sparks of inspiration are more likely to happen.
So it's like giving ourselves permission to play with ideas, explore different possibilities without shutting them down right away.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the audiobook points out that reflection is crucial for refining those sparks into something truly creative.
Yeah.
Silence provides the space for deeper contemplation, where we can assess, refine, and polish our ideas.
This is really making me rethink how I approach creative projects.
Yeah.
Now, this next one seems almost paradoxical to me.
Okay.
How can silence enhance our relationships?
Right.
Don't relationships thrive on communication?
It's not about shutting down communication.
Yeah.
It's about transforming it.
Okay.
The audiobook highlights the importance of truly listening,
Right.
not just waiting for your turn to speak, but being fully present and receptive to what the other person is saying.
Yeah.
And that requires silence.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Silence allows us to absorb
Right.
what the other person is communicating,
Uh-huh.
including their nonverbal cues,
Yeah.
and to truly understand their perspective.
And the audiobook gives a great example of using silence in a heated argument.
Okay.
It suggests taking a moment of silence instead of immediately firing back, which can really help de-escalate the situation.
It's like hitting the pause button on the argument
Yeah.
to give everyone a chance to cool down and gather their thoughts.
Exactly.
Okay.
Silence allows for reflection, perspective taking,
Yeah,
and ultimately empathy,
right.
moving from conflict to connection.
It sounds like silence is a secret weapon for better communication.
It's definitely an underutilized one.
Yeah.
The audiobook reminds us that communication isn't just about words.
Right.
It's about creating understanding.
Ah.
And sometimes the most powerful way to do that is by simply being quiet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be right back with more from The Power of Silence.
Welcome to the show we're in. News to share, where to begin. Free sides to every tale we tell. The truth is here, it's ringing bells.